back on TV. This is The Herd. Wherever you may be and however you may be listening, we are live in Los Angeles, iHeartRadio, Fox Sports Radio, FS2 this hour, FS1 in 1 hour from now to finish out our show. Joy Taylor is joining me today. We are back and ready to go for the rest of the summer. You'll see us on television. We had a couple of weeks off of the World Cup. Both took our vacays, did some radio only, so it's good to be back. Joy, how are you?
I'm doing great. Good to be back.
Good to be back. So here is the story that broke about 10 minutes ago. So it's not really a breaking story, but it kind of classifies as interesting because of who's involved. Adrian Wojnarowski, Golden State Warrior star Kevin Durant has officially declined his $31.5 million player option. Very well compensated for Golden State, will become an unrestricted free agent. Durant and his business manager, Rich Kleiman, are in New York. I've seen that in social media last couple days, evaluating free agency options. So far, the process has stayed private. I think this would be a massive mistake. I think Kevin Durant going to the Knicks will be an utter disaster. It's poorly owned. The roster is anemic. The front office is, I'm told, good, but totally unproven. And I think it's a disaster. And I'll say this again. Why would you leave a great marriage? Because you're seeking personal validation. Why would you leave a great company? Because you're seeking personal validation. Kevin Durant wants to keep telling us that he just doesn't care what we, the media, and you, the fans, think of him. Then why would you leave? You leave great situations in life for only one reason. You have something to prove. And Kevin Durant has nothing to prove to Kevin Durant. And how do I know that? Because remember during the Clippers series when people said, why aren't you shooting more? And Kevin Durant said this.
I'm not going to get in the way of the game because, I want to have a little back and forth with Patrick Beverly. I'm Kevin Durant. You know who I am.
Kevin Durant clearly has nothing to prove to Kevin Durant. He's telling you that. I'm Kevin Durant. You know who I am. So who's he trying to prove it to? When you seek validation from others, it never ends well. Kevin, what do you want the world to tell you that it hasn't yet? This is validation seeking. And it's not Kevin trying to prove to Kevin he's great. Because Kevin just told you Kevin knows Kevin's great. And we all know Kevin's great. He doesn't lack confidence. He's telling you, I'm Kevin Durant. I can do what I want to do. And obviously, he's had so much success in life. It validates to himself constantly, you're good, you're good, you're good. He goes to a gym every day. He's the best player in the gym. He goes to the games every day. He's the best player in the gym. That part, if you're a great singer, a great basketball player, a great artist, you are being told on a daily basis, by your product, your content, your work, you're great. You can see it. So what is he doing? He is seeking the validation of others. He wants others to think he's the man. That's the only reason he's doing that. Because everybody he plays with tells him, you're the best player. His coaches tell you, he's the best player. He goes for the USA Olympic stuff. You're the best player. Kevin told you, I'm the best player. I think this is going to end terribly. I think it is a classic mistake. I think it's a guy in a great marriage that has some sort of validation to prove he can do better. And good luck leaving great marriages, and good luck leaving great owners and teams and companies. It is seeking validation from others, and in my life, it never ends up well. I think KD to the Knicks will be a disaster. I think KD to the Nets with Kyrie may not be a disaster, but will massively underachieve. It'll be interesting, that I can guarantee. So here's, we're getting very close now, right? There's a rumor now out this morning that LA has believed for weeks they'll be in on the Kawhi Leonard race. I do not believe that to be true. Yesterday I did radio only. Rick Bucher came on the show and brought up something I was not aware of between Kawhi Leonard maybe staying in Toronto due to a deal with a private jet company.
What I'm hearing is that they are now showing signs of concern that it's not going to go their way. Kawhi signing the sponsorship deal with the Canadian private jet company, that raised some alarms in Clipperville, because that's the same company that basically gave Drake a private jet for free. And it doesn't make a whole lot of sense that you would be a sponsor. Would that work? Would Kawhi's name carry in Canada still if he moves to L.A.?
I've said before, I hear Kawhi is not going to be a Laker. I don't think they have a chance, and I don't think they have the money. So we are waiting for Sunday evening, because that's officially when everybody can sign their stars, right? Sunday evening. There'll be a bunch of rumors going out. It's fun. This is what the NBA is. It's a soap opera. The NFL is the sport we bet and watch. The NBA is the sport we watch less, don't bet much, but we talk about a lot. It's a living, breathing soap opera, and it's a lot of fun. I like this time of the year. But I'm finding as we near the date Sunday, there are three categories of teams pursuing free agents. There's the delusional category, and it may surprise you the teams I put in it. The Knicks, the Lakers, and the Rockets. The Knicks have no idea how they're perceived. They have a bad owner, an embarrassingly anemic roster. They're a D-list actor that's convinced they're Tom Hanks. They think they're Denzel, and they're a D-list actor. There's the Lakers. You do not have the money for Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard is not going to consider you. You did add LeBron and Anthony Davis because you have a great brand in warm winter weather and entertainment capital of the world. But in the end, your GM is hated. You screwed up the timing on the AD deal and lost $8 million in salary cap stuff, so you don't have the money for Kawhi or D'Angelo Russell. And the third team, to me, that is a little bit delusional is the Houston Rockets. A story came out yesterday. They're going to force a sign-and trade with the Sixers. The Chris Paul deal now is an albatross. The Melo deal didn't make sense. Your owner clearly can't stand Mike D'Antoni. I love your general manager, but he leaks too much to the media. Those teams feel delusional to me. The second category is what I would call contenders. The Clippers, the Raptors, Dallas Warriors, and the Celtics. They appear to be well-run and well-owned. There's a lot of grown-ups in the room. None of us would be shocked if they landed a star or kept a star. And you don't hear a lot of media leaks from the Mavericks, the Celtics, the Raptors, the Clippers, and the Warriors. And by the way, even if those teams don't land a star, they're all pretty good. I mean, if the Raptors just keep the same team, they're good. If the Warriors lose KD, still good. Celtics, Mavericks, Clippers. Those are the contenders. And then there's the irrelevance. The Nets, the Pacers, the T-Wolves, the Suns. Even if they did land a star, I'm not sure they'd be great. They all have some sort of level of interest with D'Angelo Russell. These are not movers and shakers in the NBA. The Pacers have a nice team. The Nets are kind of interesting, kind of fascinating backcourt, but they're kind of irrelevant. And I'll tell you, when I look at this stuff, as we near the date, I really enjoy this time of the year in the NBA. But there's a lot of irrelevance and a lot of delusion, and I'll go back to something I believe to be true. How good is your owner? How good is your general manager? And if those two are A+, A-, I trust you in this process. If I don't like your ownership group, if I don't trust your GM or he's hated, I think there's some delusion going on. And Houston's a hard team for me to say that about because I like a lot about him. But D'Antoni, are you trying to convince me you're in on him now? Doesn't feel like it. Chris Paul, you're trying to convince me you're in on him now? It doesn't feel like it. It's just a crazy time of the year. And I think it kind of comes down to three groups: delusion, contenders, and irrelevant. Coming up next, a great moment. I know the media is often mocked and ridiculed and criticized and despised. I get it. But there is one thing the media historically gets right. And they're almost always right on this. And they're telling us, myself included, we have already found the next great American superstar.